What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the All Elite Wrap-Up Show. Mike Belcaster not here tonight, under the weather. Hope he feels better quick. But it's me, the OG Fit Kid, Thomas Montalto, and joining me this guy, we got the FREEMZ back here. What's up, FREEMZ?
How's it going, man? Glad to be hanging out.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back on a streaming show again. It's been a couple weeks again. You know, life gets crazy, but here we are. Just got to watch Dynamite live. Before we get into it, let's just plug the Tavern as we always like to do at the top of the shows. Where is it? Here it is. Go to theturnbuckletavern.com, guys. Check us out everywhere you possibly can. All of our links are there for every social media site we're on. Just go down, subscribe, like, and follow us everywhere you can. Leave us a review. Do whatever you can to help support the Tavern. It is much appreciated. Oop, our background's gone. FREEMZ, I feel naked. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Our clothes are back on. Let's talk about the big announcement real quick. And I have the press release about the announcement that AEW has released. What do you think of the announcement, FREEMZ?
It was fine. Like, I think people were expecting something bigger.
I think whenever you say big announcement, people expect something bigger.
Yeah, he could have just released like a little presser on this and it would have been fine.
You're always setting people up for a letdown when you announce announcements. Stop announcing announcements. But yes, TBS has ordered its first new unscripted series of 2023 with the green light of AEW All Access. It will air following Dynamite, on Wednesday nights. Let me read a little bit of the press release. Maybe we get a better idea of what it will be featuring, and then we could talk about it a bit. TBS has greenlit its first new unscripted series of 2023, further expanding its All Elite Wrestling franchise with AEW All Access, a follow doc from the perspective of the league's biggest stars. The new series, which was just announced during another red hot episode of TBS AEW Dynamite, is slated to premiere this March. Billed as the ultimate behind-the-scenes experience for fans, the series will feature Adam Cole, Dr. Britt Baker, Sammy Guevara, Ty Conti, the Young Bucks, Saraya, Wardlow, and Eddie Kingston, along with the AEW CEO, GM, and head of creative Tony Khan. Each episode will showcase AEW stars as they navigate the week-to-week challenges to remain at the top, and will track the rivalries between the talent as they vie for the fans' attention. Over the course of the series, viewers will get the chance to follow the contentious lead up to AEW's major wrestling events and matches. AEW All Access will complement TBS and TNT's portfolio of top-rated wrestling content, including AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage. Just it looks like a bunch of about other mumbo jumbo here. So that's what the press release has to say. FREEMZ, what does it make you think?
I think it's gonna be cool. Like, I'm gonna watch it. But like I don't know. A lot of people were like, I was hoping that it was going to be an announcement for Forbidden Door 2. We know that's coming. Like, I wouldn't have been that excited about that either. Like, yeah, there's already been so many leaks about that.
Yeah, I mean, no, Stoney, you are not the only disappointed guy because we all want more. The date was just actually released today for, not released, but I guess the leak from Spectrum announced it on their cable, the date, and I think it was June 24th. It's the Baby Freezem Heavy Cuts. What's up, Tyson? What's up, Stoney? Thank you for joining us tonight. The saying unscripted and following storylines. I don't know. What do you think? Does that make you think it's unscripted?
It's hard to say.
I mean, I love
first episode. Show us the backstage of the CM Punk.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. Stuff.
Then I'll be excited.
I'm looking at Spectrum. Yeah, here it is. Here's the story from PW Insider. They announced that Spectrum has announced that it was the Forbidden Door 2 will be on. Where is it? I know the dates here. I saw it earlier. June 24th. I was right. I remember. So June 24th, Saturday, June 24th. It's not listed where it's going to be yet or anything like that. But we just know now Forbidden Door 2. June 24th. I don't think it was a good Dynamite. Okay, we'll talk about that when we get to it. I'm excited for the show. I love peeks behind the curtains, but I always prefer them after stories are done. I don't know how it would affect me while it's going on. I don't know if that takes away from the story, if it adds to the story, or is it going to be something that helps tell the story? That could be, a different motive, different way of telling stories if done right.
Yeah, I mean, it could maybe like one of the I think complaints people give is like, well, to understand AEW storylines, you got to watch other YouTube and you got to watch this and that. Maybe this will kind of help with some of that a little bit more.
Hey,
But
that'd be cool.
here's my unpopular opinion that I always get pushed back on. Instead of giving us all access, just give me another fucking hour of Dynamite.
And I kind of thought the same thing. Why are they giving us an hour of this if they want to give us another hour of TV? Give us a good show with compelling stories. Make Rampage 2 hours. Make Rampage a good show. Like not it's gotten better, but they can make it even better. I'm gonna start calling you Babyface FREEMZ. Wait, I'm looking at this Babyface FREEMZ with us tonight. So like
Yeah, I had a bit of a moment last night where I cut off my hair and my beard.
all your hair's gone too?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, okay. You got the curly thing going on from the Three Stooges.
Yeah.
Anyway, it looks good. You look like a baby there, Freem. So I'm excited to see it. I'm not going to judge it until I see what it is. A more AEW TV time is a good thing. Could it have been like?
It's not.
It could be used better until I see it. That's kind of a fair judgment.
I just don't like being underwhelmed. Like,
yeah,
the way that they set it up. Like, I've been like, you wasted time. I would have preferred having like 5 more minutes of that Moxley Uno match instead of that like weird announcement you gave us.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, and it didn't need a build for that. Like that could have been something that was just said. It's just a way to try and get people to tune in and disappoint fans who don't normally tune in. I'm like, I'm not tuning in when they do this shit again, and then they tune in again. But let's talk about the AEW Dynamite tonight. It starts off with Wheeler Yuta versus Orange Cassidy for the All Atlantic title. What do you think?
I think they're splitting up Blackpool Combat Club is what I think slowly.
Yeah.
I think with William Regal being gone, it's just not the same.
No, it's not the same. And I kind of laughed that they still call it Blackpool Combat Club because the Blackpool part of the Combat Club is gone.
Yeah.
He's back in WWE. I thought MJF, when he was talking tonight, he was going to say, I knocked William Regal back into Connecticut. But he just said into the hospital. I thought the Connecticut line would have been a little more MJF-like. But
he also called him his drug-addicted mentor.
Yes, I did catch that.
MJF is such a good heel. We'll talk about that more when we get there, I guess.
Yeah. I thought Wheeler Yuta and Orange Cassidy put on a good match, though.
Hell of a good match.
I mean, Orange Cassidy, I feel like he's very underrated, but he puts on banger after banger. And Wheeler Yuta is just a star. That kid is so good. I love everything about him.
I mean, do you really think Orange Cassidy is underrated? I feel like he's pretty hot right now. I feel like people pop for him.
They do, but I don't think they pop for him, but I don't think he gets the credit for how good his matches are.
Yeah,
I
can
lot.
see that.
So we got Austin in the house. What's up, Austin? I hope you're having a good evening. Hope you watch Dynamite tonight along with us. Yeah, Wheeler Yuta, I don't even know if he even needs the Blackpool Combat Club anymore. I don't know.
Nah, I don't think he does.
Claudio just feels like the third wheel for them right now, doesn't he? It just.
Yeah, I also don't want to see Wheeler Yuta going back to like best friends or anything like that. But
no, and they kind of teased that could be happening. And hopefully not. He walked away from them, so maybe at the end of the match, Orange Cassidy gets the win. But at the end of the match, Orange Cassidy wants to give him a hug, and out comes Claudio. In case you missed it, and he tells Wheeler, he gives him like the thumb down or points down, tells him to get out of the ring, and Wheeler Yuta stormed off. Didn't give him the hug, so I don't know where they're going with this. What kind of a story they're going to? If it's just a quick build for another match at Revolution in a couple of weeks. Maybe we're going to get Wheeler Yuta and Claudio versus Orange Cassidy and someone. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. It definitely seemed like the start of something. Just whether it's a build up to anything.
So, I got something in my my allergies are killing me. Sorry.
Hope all is well with the fam, Tom. I've been thinking about you. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate the thoughts and the prayers from everybody out there right now. And the good news is, Mom made some great progress today. So
it's good to hear.
Yeah, thank you. It was a very encouraging day. So, all right. So let's see. What do we get after this? Orange Cassidy wins. Oh, we go to the back and we get Hangman Page with Evil Uno with Renee. Uno tells Paige not to get involved because it's time for the Dark Order to stand up. What do you think there?
I think this is like even more of like I don't know. I don't know how to like. It seems like unnecessary. Feels like they're like continuing a storyline they dropped the ball on months ago.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I feel like they've dropped a ball on the Dark Order, and it's just time for them all to move on for now.
Yeah, and this could be the beginning of the end of them,
I've been saying,
or they're going to like try to revamp it. It's one of the two things.
they need a new leader. Then I think maybe just let it go for now, and then when -1 is ready to wrestle, you can bring them all back. Bring back the Dark Order.
They'll all be old men then.
Yeah, well, I mean, how old is that kid now? Is he 12 or is he? All he's got to do is graduate high school. Ask Nick. Was it Nick Wayne?
Yeah, Nick Wayne.
and GCW. So next up, we get Ricky Starks. He comes out to the ring with a contract. He makes a promo. He's putting a contract out there to fight at Revolution. He said he's done with Jericho. Out comes Jericho. We get to sing along to Judas, which is always one of the best parts of Dynamite. It's so fun. I guess Jericho played right into Ricky Stark's plan.
That was such an entertaining back and forth.
They're both so good.
Yeah.
Jericho, making Jericho play into his games. I'm like, usually Jericho's a step above that. I was kind of shocked at that.
I love the pop for the pin click.
Yeah, like the old school. You just made it. And it goes to show you Jericho still can do anything he wants. Like, he got fans to pop over a pen click when he was creating the list. There's just little things like that Jericho is so good at. Like little nuances. It's crazy.
Yeah, at this point, like I like almost put him up on my Rushmore.
Jericho's definitely on my Mount Rushmore. I think he's on arguably one of the GOATs of all time in wrestling with how long he's been doing it
and staying relevant
and reinventing himself time after time. It's friggin' crazy. But again, I just don't love the build to the story of this match.
Yeah, I mean,
something's lacking. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Usually Jericho is on top of all the stories that he's done in AEW. Usually he tells great stories. And Ricky Starks has got so much to give. I just feel like something's missing here, and I can't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah, I can't either. I'm already honestly almost tired of the Jericho Appreciation Society. They've had like good storylines since they've started, obviously. Like that feud with the Blackpool Combat Club, Kingston, all that was great. And then the stuff with oh gosh, I'm having a
well,
who's in Jericho Appreciation Society? The young guy.
Oh, Daniel Garcia.
Yeah, with the stuff that was going on with him and the storylines with that were great.
I love Daniel Garcia. I don't disagree. JAS, I was actually kind of thinking tonight, I think it's time for Jericho to go face again. I think it's time for him to start getting the cheers. I think you're right. I think kind of JAS might have played its last song, its last dance. But you know what would be cool is if Jericho leaves them, and yet they still keep JAS going, and he feuds with them.
Yeah,
like saying, "Hey, we still appreciate you, but you don't appreciate us and everything we've done for you." And he can be like, "Well, what have you done for me?" I think there's story to be told there with all those young guys. There's some great matchups there.
I like this hat.
Yeah. It's time for that guy to go. Oh my gosh. Daddy Magic, I love that guy. He's great. Daniel Garcia is great. Like it's just a group made up of great guys, and I feel like it's time to shine on their own and go their
separate. It's just hard because like what do you do with them? Like the roster is too full.
I could see Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Ange. It's time for them to start fighting the Ass Boys and the Acclaimed and start getting more relevant in the tag team scene here in AEW.
So many mouths to feed on that show.
There is that's why another hour of wrestling programming would have been amazing. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. I like I said, I'm ready for Jericho to kind of turn and go back to being a face and whatever. And we get Lee Moriarty and Big Bill with Stokely Hathaway versus the Acclaimed with Billy Gunn. Thoughts on this match?
I mean, it's just a match to further the Acclaim.
The push and keeping them relevant, keeping them winning.
And to further the storyline with them and Bullet Club, because obviously they came out.
Yeah, and man, I still think every time I see Big Bill, W, Morrissey, Cass, whatever you want to call him, I feel like he's kicking himself for coming back to AEW. Like, this dude has been used terribly since signing on with them.
Yeah,
he's done absolutely nothing. He's like, I don't know. Like I feel like they've dropped the ball with him. I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah,
he's getting pretty over in TNA.
Yeah, he was doing great in TNA. He was one of the stars over there. And as soon as AEW brought him in for that one-time appearance, was it versus Wardlow, I believe?
Yeah.
And he got buried that match. I'm like, they just buried a top star, a top young star in this business. And when he signed with AEW, I'm like, where is there for him to go at this point? I don't know. Maybe I'm being too picky.
Maybe they'll do something with him in the future, though. I mean,
I hope so. But how far can you bury somebody until there's a point of no return?
I don't think he's quite there, because they haven't made him look. I mean, at that point in time, losing to Wardlow wasn't a big deal.
No, Wardlow was white hot at that point. He was destroying everyone. But I just feel like he's so lost in a shuffle here, and people just don't care about him.
No, I think you're right.
So I don't know how long his contract's for, but and again, it's just a shame because the guy, he went through a lot. He straightened up his act. He's back, and he said he had a great run in Impact. So
yeah,
I was almost said TNA, but that wouldn't be correct. There's no more such thing as TNA.
I keep saying TNA too. I can't help it.
Let me make my screen larger since I don't know my glasses. Okay, so Tony Schiavone comes out. He's out to talk to Christian Cage. Christian Cage is on his way to talk to Tony Schiavone, and out comes Jungle Boy. Obviously, we're setting up for another match with Christian and Jungle Boy for Revolution. It looks like he's going to hit Christian with the concerto. Well, turnabout's fair play, and we get left with a bloody Jungle Boy.
I just don't care.
That's exactly the words I felt. I'm so over this story. He beat Luchasaurus. It's time to move on from this already.
Yeah, this should have been over.
Yeah,
a while ago.
There was no need to just bring this back right now. Like, they could have had a match on Rampage for all I care, if they wanted to have another match. This match is not going to be selling tickets or get buys for the pay-per-view on March.
It's another one of those things. I think they're just trying to figure out how to keep, because they want to push Jungle Boy.
Yeah,
you got to figure out how to keep him relevant while they wait for something to do with him. I don't know.
Yeah, I think, was it at when did Christian, I think that might have been at All Out in September that he beat. Yeah, that it was at All Out when he beat Jungle Boy in a squash match at the pay-per-view.
It was a while ago.
So that was 6 years because we were there, and there's certain things that make me remember exactly when it was, but not to be talked about here. But so that's how I remember. But yeah, like, just who cares? Everybody's forgotten about it. Nobody cares. Let's start a fresh story for Jungle Boy. He needs to be away from Hook. There's no need to continue that. Let's give Jungle Boy something fresh. He needs something fresh, something to give him that reignition. Like, I feel like I don't really care about Jungle Boy anymore.
Unless I'd like to see them do something cool with him.
I would love it. I love the guy. I think he's great, but really, since the split up of him and Luchasaurus and the match versus Luchasaurus at the Steel Cage, lost all interest in him. They're not booking him good. They're not telling stories with him anymore. And Hook and him just made no sense. I didn't like it. Now, if it would have led to a feud with him and Hook, I think that would have been better storytelling.
It's funny because people are always like, well, I thought you liked long-term storytelling. It's like, bro, I do, but not for every single storyline.
No, long-term storytelling makes sense when it makes sense.
Yeah. But now, like, every storyline stretches back over a year. Like, like this, even with the stuff with like Wheeler Yuta, Orange Cassidy, that's old stuff.
Yeah.
Christian Cage, Jungle Boy, old stuff.
Yeah. That's true. They're just like, now they're just going back in time too many times.
Yeah.
That's a great point. None of the stories really seem to be making much sense right now.
Also, it doesn't count as long-term storytelling if you don't do anything with the guys for like 4 months and then just go back to where you left off. It just feels weird.
Yeah. We got to see Saraya in her first singles match on Dynamite versus Sky Blue.
Good match.
Saraya
And
picked up the wings. So Sky Blue is such a young star.
yeah,
I think she's going to be so good. I love watching her wrestle. And Saraya looks great.
yeah.
No ring rust left anymore. And, I'm interested to see the three-way match at Revolution.
That submission at the end.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
It looked great.
Looked so good.
I thought tonight was the best Saraya's looked in a ring since coming back.
Yeah, it was a great match. This is probably one of my favorite storylines going on in AEW right now.
I agree.
As much as I like laughing at it as well, like I don't think it's the that shows you the state of AEW though.
Yeah, we get Jamie Hayter and Brick coming out, and then Ruby Soho comes out, and it didn't look like she was against Saraya. I really want to see Ruby Soho join Saraya and Toni Storm. What are your thoughts on that?
I want Ruby Soho to like just focus on getting that belt.
Well, and that's what she looked focused on tonight because she made the gesture to the belt.
Yeah, I want like that to be her like motivation, not like the sides that she's on.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched the debate or not, but I was pretty harsh on the storyline. But after watching Dynamite tonight, it was the best spot of the whole thing. Well, there's a few other things I'm excited for. We'll get to, but
let's see what we got next on the show. Oh, okay. So we got Bryan Danielson coming to the ring. He's going to cut a promo. And the star of all professional wrestling comes out right now. MJF comes out. This guy can't do anything wrong.
He really can't.
He's so good. Goes to talk to Danielson's kids. This is one of the better pull-aparts I've seen in a while because it seemed like they really put everything into it. I feel like those two spoke to each other and like, let's go at it. Come at me. Let's make it good. I felt like it was everything it needed to be. And you mentioned what MJF said earlier. And MJF drops a bomb. I wonder if it's true. He said his fiance left him. I don't.
He does this thing. He always does this, and I love it every time he does it.
I know what you mean.
Where he does he'll give these like big dark stories of his past.
Yep.
And then he'll still come out and do like the funny heel shit later on down the road. Like whenever he's talking to CM Punk and he was talking about how like all the kids would make fun of me for being Jewish and you were my hero and all this stuff. And he's doing it here too. Like with
dude, it's so good what he does. He did it again tonight. He shows you that human side of him. And it makes you question, like, oh, this poor guy for a second. Oh God, his fiance left him. Instead, the fans start chanting, "You deserve it."
That was so good. I wrote that down. It's my one note that I wrote down. I can't believe I didn't bring it up.
You deserve it. And he's talking.
This is the first time I've heard the fans chant, "You deserve it," in like a negative way, and I was like, that's such a good moment.
But what does that say for MJF's heel work that they chanted that?
It's so good.
That's just kudos to everything he's done that he gets a whole crowd to chant "You deserve it," talking about his fiance breaking up with him.
It's so good. It's so good. And also my boy's looking cut.
MJF?
Yeah. He's been putting work in, man.
Dude, he's put work ever since he disappeared from TV and came back. He's jacked. Like you could tell he spent time in the gym when he was gone, and he hasn't let up since he's been back.
Yeah, he's cut, man. He's filling out them designer shirts a little more.
I mean, listen, the main event is what should sell you on a pay-per-view, and I'm definitely looking forward to that match.
Yeah, that's
because listen,
go ahead.
We give MJF so much credit for how good he is in the ring. I think that after that match, we're going to be even more blown away.
Yeah. I mean, he carries any feud he's in, he carries.
Yeah.
With like veterans, he's carrying this feud. Like as far as the storytelling goes, he's carrying the feud with Bryan Danielson. Carried the feud with CM Punk.
Yeah,
I mean his shit is what carries. As big as a Punk mark as I am, like
his story with Jericho, he does it every single time. This guy you cannot miss. He has been since the beginning of AEW. He is their number one star, the number one storyteller. Week in, week out, he's there. You've never other than a break after he dropped his promo back in California. he got that one little break, but he hasn't missed any other TV time. I wouldn't be shocked if he's got the most appearances on Dynamite since the beginning.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
I wonder if there's a list of that somewhere, because like the dude is there, whether it's just a quick promo, whatever, he's there every week. He probably doesn't have a ton of matches, but here's the thing: he's like Piper. He doesn't need to have the matches every week.
No.
So
he's more value having him on the mic for 15 minutes than in a 15-minute match.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. This guy is an MVP, and I tell you, man, so I think AEW can survive if the Elite do leave, if you see Kenny Omega leave. I don't think it hurts them. The guy they cannot afford to lose, in my opinion, is MJF.
I agree. No, I 100% agree. That's exactly what I was about to say. Like, if there's one person that they need to like make sure they hang on to, it's him. Because he's young too.
After All Out, when Omega and the Young Bucks weren't there, their TV got better. TV was fine September, October, and November. That's when it started to improve after that whole brawl out and everything. How funny would it be, FREEMZ, if Omega and the Bucks do leave and Punk comes back to AEW and they're not there?
I feel like they're not going to bring you. I would love to see an FTR Punk Elite feud.
I would love it.
I'd love for Punk to come back. I'm just like picturing it in my head, like fantasy booking. Punk comes back.
Yeah.
The Elite come to the ring and jump him. FTR hasn't been back yet. You hear the FTR music kick. They run down to the ring. Because you got to think. FTR kept doing those matches with the Briscoes.
Yeah.
I remember Young Bucks in the first one. They came out at the end of the match.
Yeah.
They've never had the match really since then.
No.
So, like, it would all just, like, click in together so well. It would be great.
Have you been listening to the FTR with Dax podcast?
I haven't. I need to.
Dude.
I don't have a lot of time, like I've told you. But.
Dude, and it's a long podcast, too. It's not a short one. But it's, to me, right now, it's my can't miss podcast of the week.
Maybe I'll listen to it after this.
Dude, it's so good. But I listen to Dax every week, and the way he talks, to me, it sounds like he wants to go back to WWE. Like,
interesting.
He's dropping little if you listen to what he says, that's just the vibe I'm getting. I don't know for negotiation, strength or whatever. But he talks about wanting to wrestle the Usos. He talks about wanting to wrestle Walter. He drops this pipe bomb that nobody has picked up. He says, I really want to have a tag team match about Edge and Christian, and people don't realize how possible that might actually be.
Yeah.
Like, is Christian thinking about jumping ship back after he's done? Because honestly,
I hope so.
They haven't really used him great in AEW.
No.
I
His
mean,
best run in AEW was as a manager for Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
That might be a little hyperbolic, but
yeah. I mean, when he started off as the heel, I liked him when he first turned on.
Yeah.
He did some great work then. So, but yeah, like Dax's podcast is amazing. I don't know. Like, he says he doesn't know where he's going to be. He's doing a live version of his podcast in California, WrestleMania weekend. And man, it's not going to be recorded. I want to go there and listen to what he has to say, because I can listen to this guy speak all day, because his passion of wrestling, like, this guy loves wrestling. And I love people who love wrestling.
I saw where they posted a poll where he's like, when FTR comes back, should we bring back the Trunks or the Long Boys?
Oh, wow. I didn't see that.
Everyone voted Trunks. But
oh, really?
I want to see FTR and some Long Boys, all right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess Long Boys. I don't really care if I see grown men in underwear. I don't look forward to that part of the show.
There was another wrestler. I can't remember who it was. Another wrestler is like, don't you mean dick tights?
That's hysterical. But definitely, yeah, you should check out the Dax podcast. He makes me want to drink tequila, because every week he reviews another bottle of tequila and the high price shit. And it's like, man, he makes me want to try tequila, because he makes it sound so much better than the stuff that we have done shots with at the bar. So I'm gonna have to splurge on a good bottle of tequila.
Let's see a Discord DM hot off the presses. I don't know if you can show it on stream or not, but
if you load it up here, I could show it.
I've sent it to you in Discord.
Okay.
I guess I can post it in private chat.
Oh wow, I got it. Yeah, I can do that.
So you can save it for the end if you want when we talk about the match.
Okay, I'll save it for then. Okay, I got it all ready now. All right, let's move on from there. So talk a little more. Like, what did you think of the Danielson and MJF stuff tonight?
It was great. It was actually probably the actual highlight of the night.
Oh yeah,
Just is great. Well, I mean, what can you say? What can you say? Or what can you say bad about it?
yeah, you can't say anything bad about it.
And
Danielson, I love Danielson.
Yeah, Danielson's great. I never was big on Danielson on the mic, really.
Yeah,
I think he's fine. Like
he's
he's
fine.
passable.
He's not one of the best.
He's probably one of the best wrestlers.
Oh,
but
yeah.
as far as like being on the mic, but MJF is just so good. Danielson doesn't need to be on the mic.
I love him talking about the people chanting. Yes, like he did so well. Like
every time you step in the ring,
yeah.
you just like you care more about wrestling than your own family and all this.
It's just, and you know what? He doesn't really spit lies. He spits.
You know what I was afraid was going to happen? I was terrified it was going to happen.
Wow.
Because it would break the internet wrestling. I thought he was going to say something about Benoit for a minute. I thought he was heading that direction. We started talking about the concussions and Bryan Danielson's family.
Wow. Yeah, that's a great point. I'm surprised you even hinted that.
I was like, please don't go there. Please don't go there.
You know what I have? I was just looking for this today. I have a signed program from the Hall of Fame from WrestleMania 20, signed by Randy Orton, Batista, and Chris Benoit. And I think Molly Holly's also on it. Like, how crazy is that? Like,
wrestling legend Molly Holly.
Yes, along with those guys.
So. She had the same career as them.
Yeah, she's just as remembered. She's almost up on the Mount Rushmore with that.
She is a Hall of Famer, though. I'm pretty sure
she is a Hall of Famer. She is a Hall of Famer. She was entertaining. She was good. And you know what? She cared about her work. So
I preferred her whenever she was when she was with like Hurricane and them.
Yeah, the Mighty Molly.
Mighty Molly. Yeah. God.
So we go to the back. We get Tony Schiavone with Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker. Hayter talks about how Saraya is destroying AEW from the ground up, but she hasn't lost a match yet, so she may deserve a title match. However, Ruby deserves a match as well, so it's going to be a 3-way at Revolution. We talked about it earlier. This is one of the matches we're most looking forward to. I wonder, is it time for Jamie Hayter to lose the title already?
I don't want Jamie Hayter to lose the title. I don't think. But if she does lose it, I want her to drop it to Soho. Just because I think it's just because I'm such a fan.
Yeah.
But you know what I could see happening? Where Ruby has it like chosen a side on this feud. The people involved in the feud are going to screw themselves out of the whole thing. And Ruby's going to win because of the conflicting sides fighting with each other.
I'd be down for that.
That's how I could see that playing out.
I would definitely be down with that. I love that.
I'm also a huge Jamie Hayter fan.
I am too. I love Jamie Hayter.
Personally think she's the best women's wrestler as far as just in-ring ability goes.
I honestly love the AEW women's division compared to WWE's.
Yeah, WWE's is kind of, I don't know. It's like reverted.
Like Rhea Ripley is on a roll. I think she's
gonna like her.
I think she's gonna have a great match with Charlotte at WrestleMania, but I've lost zero interest in seeing Bianca Belair. And her versus Asuka at WrestleMania, I could give a care.
I love Asuka. I'm a huge Asuka fan.
I've lost interest in Asuka.
So there's just no way if they're gonna have Asuka go over on Bianca Belair at Mania.
No.
There's just no way. I don't see it happening.
I was really hoping for Raquel Rodriguez to win that match because I thought they would put on a better match, but I guess they don't want to have Raquel losing yet. So, and they're not ready to put the title on her. Raquel brought the best match out of Ronda Rousey that I've seen on SmackDown.
We're turning into a WWE.
Yeah. You are talking about
Elimination Chamber was pretty decent though.
I enjoyed that pay-per-view. I enjoyed the match. I enjoyed the main event. So yeah. I even thought the Edge and Beth Phoenix match versus Finn Balor and Rhea was better than
that's what's like rough right now. So I have some like non-wrestling fans that have been watching wrestling with me every week, and we watch Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite.
Yeah.
Usually they don't watch Rampage with me because it's Friday night, but they tend to like the WWE more right now.
I feel like
it's because of the storytelling.
I was just gonna say WWE's telling better stories right now.
And like they like the AEW stuff, but I have to like explain everything to them from the past year.
Yeah, WWE is more digestible to a casual fan, I feel.
Yeah. But you
So,
got to bring in those casual fans to keep a show going.
you got to try and build those ratings. You can't be satisfied with where they're at. So
Yeah.
I know they're still one of the top rated shows on Wednesday nights, which is great. But you always got to strive to be better.
Yeah.
Like when you stop striving to be better, it's a bad thing. And you got to think, how can we do something that's going to get us new viewers next week? So keep like whoever tuned in today, how are we going to get them to come back next week? So, okay, let's see. So we get the 20 was it 20 man battle royal?
Yeah, something like that.
So I saw some slack in the chat about about
Jeff Jarrett.
Jarrett winning it. What are your thoughts?
Whenever Jeff Jarrett won it, for one thing, all right. If when Jeff Jarrett won, I said, "Why the fuck is he here?" That's what I said.
Yeah,
I was like, "Why is Jeff Jarrett here?"
I don't mind.
Don't have him throw Trent Barretta out of the ring for one thing, because who are you doing? I think that, like, a lot of people would love to see someone like Trent Barretta and Chuck Taylor get a shot at something. Like, have him throw out like Jericho Appreciation Society or something. Even though that spot was pretty funny with Danhausen.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
Dan.
it was pretty good. I just don't care. Jay Lethal leaves such a sour taste in my mouth after his time at TNA, and
Oh, you didn't like him in TNA?
no, I didn't.
He's so good.
I wasn't a fan.
I mean, I didn't watch his TNA stuff. I saw a little bit, later on. I went back and watched some stuff. Guy's great in the ring. Holy smokes!
Yeah, for his age, yeah, he's not terrible, but like, I don't know.
It's not terrible. I think the guy. I would rather see him fighting singles matches. I don't really like the whole. Like, I have nothing against Jeff Jarrett. I like the guy. I think he brings something to the mid card of AEW if used the right way. But I just don't like the whole team. It just doesn't make. I know they have history from TNA and whatever. It's not working here for me.
Plus, I'd like to see Jay Lethal in a better spot than
I'd love to see Jay
being.
getting a better push as a singles competitor.
It just seems like such a mismatch. Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, and Singh.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
we get a running from Mark Briscoe during the battle royal.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm so curious to see what happens with him, where he goes, what he does.
with the Ring of Honor tag team titles.
I mean, he's gonna have to drop him at some point.
Is he going to defend him solo? You think that's what he's going to do?
Knowing Tony Khan, they'll probably do like a freaking Jay Lethal Memorial Tag Team Tournament for the Ring of Honor Championships.
I wonder, because he's still coming out with them weekly, and they're still announcing him as the tag team, one half of the Ring of Honor tag team champion. So I don't know what their plan is.
We'll probably hold him until the new show starts.
Yeah, I would love to know how they came up with using the last name Briscoe. You know the story behind that?
It's probably paying homage to
Jack and
Jerry Briscoe.
Yeah, I wondered that because it's a pretty big name in the history of tag team wrestling. So
yeah,
those chicken farmers and Mark. I get so bitter when I see Mark on TV. I want to spit in the face of Warner Brothers. It's like you couldn't let these guys on TV sooner.
Yeah, it seems a bit goofy.
It does. It really, really does. Here we go. We got Ace all hyped up about it. Jeff Jarrett has taken valuable time away from other more deserving wrestlers. His knowledge is valuable as backstage agent producer, but in the ring, ship sailed. Great shows, dude. Keep up the great work. I don't mind Jeff Jarrett on my screen. I don't have the hate for him. He's not one of my favorites, but the guy is good at bringing heat. He's good at what he does, and people want to see Jeff Jarrett.
I don't think they do.
You don't think they do?
I don't think people do want to see Jeff Jarrett.
Okay.
I might be wrong.
I think they do.
I think the only reason why he's getting heat is because people don't want to see him.
I mean, I guess there's a difference between getting heat and true go away heat. So after the tag team battle royal, was that straight to we get Jon Moxley versus Evil Uno, and I was thinking one thing watching Evil Uno run around that ring tonight. Man should be wearing like an Andre singlet or something. It's like, it looked like it was a whole bunch of shaking going on there. Did you notice that, FREEMZ?
With who?
With Evil Uno?
He actually looks like he's in better shape than what he was.
Really?
I feel like he's in better shape than I feel like he's getting into better shape.
Oh wait, I have to shut this off. How do I do that? Because it's not coming up here. There it is. There's the picture. I guess we can't do it while we. But
Yeah.
here's a
Well,
picture.
you did miss out on something that I wanted to talk about.
What I miss?
The House of Black promo.
Oh, how did I forget that? I am so excited for that. I cannot wait. Go ahead, talk about it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that frustrates me so much because House of Black is probably my favorite thing in AEW.
Yes, I love House of Black. I agree. We need more House of Black. How they're not on my TV every single week in a prominent role is disturbing.
Yeah, and I really hope they win these trios titles. I'd like to see them with imagine the promos they could cut with those belts.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know if I have any. I know a few of like Ace and some other people listen to hardcore music.
Mm-hmm.
Brody King totally quoted an old hardcore band during his promo, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
he quoted "Firestorm" by Earth Crisis. In his he said a firestorm to purify the AEW landscape. That's from an old hardcore straight edge song.
Oh wow!
I thought that was really cool, but
awesome that you can catch that and share it with
us. Yeah, it was a great promo. I love everything they do. All their promos are great. Still funny seeing Buddy come out there with like no tattoos. And the other two are just completely covered.
Every inch of their body's tattooed, and Buddy Murphy comes out there with no tattoos.
But he still fits.
Has way more tattoos than he does.
Yeah, he still fits for some reason. He
does. And Julia Hart works with him.
Yeah. Really I think she has more tattoos than Buddy Murphy. I think she has like one small one.
Something.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't. That's one of the things I'm most excited for. I think the pay-per-view is setting up to be pretty good. I really do.
Listen, we could. Their weekly shows might miss a lot and might not be telling stories, but when you spend $50 for their pay-per-view, you know from start to end you're getting $50 worth of wrestling. It is their shows never disappoint. They don't.
Here's the question: do you think it tops Full Gear from last year? Or no, Revolution? It's Revolution. Never mind.
I don't think it could. I still don't think it tops last year's Revolution, but that was CM Punk versus MJF in a dog collar match, wasn't it?
I thought that was Full Gear.
Oh, that was right after Valentine's Day. Punk cut the "Will You Be My Valentine" promo with the dog.
You're right.
Dog collar in his hand. So, and that was phenomenal.
Yeah, that was a good pay-per-view.
That was a great
the one where I think Thunder Rosa won the title.
No, she didn't win the title there. She won it like the week after our Dynamite when they went.
Right, in a cage match. You're right.
Yeah. So it's crazy.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty good. I really do. And one good thing about the Jeff Jarrett match is I need a time to go take a bathroom break. So maybe like cook up some food or something so I can do it during that match.
I mean, there's no chance these guys should ever win the tag team titles.
No, so why do it at a pay-per-view?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why we're not getting a rematch of the Acclaim versus the Ass Boys, because honestly, I'd rather see that than just some teams thrown together in a 4-way or a 3-way.
We have another week of Dynamite for stuff to change.
Yeah, but next week is the Casino Battle Royale to enter another team into that match.
God, these gimmick matches crack me up.
Now, is it going to be the mystery team? Is it going to be FTR returning?
Oof, that's intriguing.
You always got the Joker there. And the Ass Boys made their comments about FTR after they lost to the Briscoes at the last. What was the pay-per-view in December for Ring of Honor?
I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, after that match, they came out and they attacked FTR. Then they came out and they had the funeral for FTR the next week on Dynamite. Yeah. So, I mean, it makes perfect sense to throw them into the mix. And, like, really, as much as I don't mind Jeff Jarrett on my TV, that match makes so much more sense if it's just FTR versus the Ass Boys versus the Acclaim.
You know what? I just remember what happened at Revolution last year.
Wow.
Wardlow won the brass ring. Remember that? The ladder match?
Was that at Revolution?
That was at Revolution.
Okay.
Whatever happened with that?
That what happened at last year's Revolution? For real?
Yeah, it was Revolution last year.
Really? Let me look that up. I don't even remember that. Revolution 2022. Let's see.
Face of the Revolution. It's called the Face of the Revolution ladder match.
Singles match.
They really dropped the ball with that one, huh?
Wardlow defeated Christian Cage, Keith Lee, Orange Cassidy, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Ricky Starks. Damn, Freems, you went deep into your mind to pick that one out. And he was supposed to get a title match, right?
Yeah.
And who was the champion at that time?
They didn't even say he was going to get a title match. They never said what you won with that match. And from what I could tell, it looks like you won a year off of TV.
Oh, you know what it was? It says for a future AEW TNT championship match. So I guess he did get it, and then he won the TNT championship.
Oh, okay. And then lost it to Sammy Guevara or something?
So he lost it to Samoa Joe.
That's right. You're right.
Samoa Joe lost it to Sammy. Lost it to Darby. Then Darby lost it back to Samoa. And I guess we'll probably see it to pay-per-view. If I had to guess, Wardlow will win it back from Samoa Joe.
That belt gets tossed around a good bit.
Talk about ruining a title.
Yeah. Imagine if they booked it as strong as they booked the TBS Women's Championship.
Oh my! They did in the beginning.
Yeah.
The first couple of years, that title was great, and then when Cody got to COVID, is when the whole thing kind of got to shit, and they came up with that fake interim title for like just a week because they have the Battle of the Belts coming up. Is when that title went to shit, and they just started hot potatoing it around. And it's one of the things I loved about AEW is that the titles meant something, and I don't feel like that title means anything anymore. So
should have been. Let's see what we got. Ace down here saying should have been best friends. Not a single doubt in my mind. And lockstep with you, Freems. Go and look out for the Brody quote when I watch the first. Nice. Yeah, I think best friends. The AEW fans would have popped for that.
Yeah, I just think the match should have been FTR. You just do the one battle royal and you have FTR win it. FTR versus Ass Boys versus Acclaimed makes the most sense. That's a match that people would want to see.
I don't think they're going to bring FTR back for something like that.
I mean, FTR's contracts are up very, very soon.
So you think they're going to try to squeeze one more match out of them?
I think April 1st. As Dax says on his podcast, he doesn't know when they're going to return. He was planning, to staying out until their contract is up, I think. But he said if Tony Khan did call, they would come back early. So I think it makes sense for them to come back here. So, my opinion. That makes the match more interesting, at least. And, with them leaving... Listen, with them leaving, they're not going to win the titles. With the Elite, everything going on with them, there's a good chance they're going to drop the titles to the House of Black. I can kind of feel like AEW is in a little bit of disarray at the moment.
You know who else could possibly come back around April?
Ooh. Oh, I hope. I know who you're talking about. I hope.
CM Punk.
It'd be funny if he comes back the week after their... if Kenny Omega leaves, which I don't think he's leaving.
I'm telling you, man, think about the booking. CM Punk comes back, gets jumped by the Elite. FTR
I would
comes
love
up
it,
for
but
save.
I would love it. It's me and Mike have been, spouting that for months that we want that story. But imagine they do leave and Punk comes back and he's like, all right, now that the trash is gone around here, I've come home.
Yeah, I don't think they'll let him say that. It's hard to say.
So?
I don't know.
I think they would. Listen, they let the Elite shit all over CM Punk in the match in Chicago. You don't think he could come and say what he wants to say?
He might.
Yeah. Hey, listen, that's what makes wrestling great when you're allowed to drop those type of things. Let's just build the story even more.
I'm so good at getting us off the rails.
Let's talk about Mox and Evil Uno. I don't know. You said Evil Uno's in better shape. If round is a better shape, then I guess.
Well, he was just more round. He's less round than he was. I'm not saying he's in good shape. I'm saying he's in better shape than he was.
Some flopjacks flying around that ring tonight. Then he goes up to the top rope, though, and he hits that tumble salt off of the top rope on the Mox on the outside. I was like, holy shit. So I could still move.
I'm not excited for an Evil Uno Moxley match.
The main event on your Dynamite was Mox versus Evil Uno.
I mean, it's fun for it to be the main event of a Dynamite, sure. But then like to have that match like immediately after the like subpar announcement,
Yeah.
I just like the last 30 minutes of this show I could have just turned off.
Yeah.
It was a pretty brutal match.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
can pull that. You can pull that picture back up.
yeah, let me pull that picture. I got it right here. Gotta shut us off. Gotta shut off our. We're going naked for a second. There he is. Evil Uno. Let me make it a little bigger for you guys at home. Wow.
Brutal match.
It was
Cool
a
picture.
It was.
This match just went on to further progress that story of Dark Order, and they told Hangman Page not to come out no matter what. He came out.
Well, he came out afterwards, so does that count as coming out?
It does. It does. I think they're gonna make. I think that's why they did it.
Man, the Dark Order was one of my favorite things in AEW when Brody was there.
Yeah, I mean, it's Brody made it.
Yeah, that's true. Because what were they before Brody? It's like the same thing they are now. You know?
Yeah.
So it's time to let these guys go do their own thing. And
but what do they? A lot of those dudes without Dark Order are just gone.
Yeah, like John Silver and Alex Reynolds.
Yeah,
I like those dudes.
Colt Cabana.
Colt Cabana's gone already now, anyway, isn't he? He'll be sent away again soon if our friend from Chicago returns.
I'm sure Colt Cabana is going to show up on Ring of Honor.
Oh yeah, he's signed to a Ring of Honor deal, I heard. So
I almost got to play video games with him the other day.
Yeah, that's an amazing story.
So I was streaming the other day on Twitch, and I had a lot of viewers, and I was like, I'm going to raid Colt Cabana.
Okay.
And I raided him, and like, he's super cool, man. And he's playing Fall Guys, and like, he's like, jump in the game. And I'm like, don't have it installed.
You know what I love about Colt Cabana? He has a Dashin, just like I do.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Big Colt Cabana guy.
I met Colt at one of the major wrestling figure podcast events I went to. He wouldn't cut a promo for us. Said he wasn't allowed to. But I like Colt. I've always been a fan of Colt. One of the top indie guys who never. Well, I mean, I guess he got a shot now on TV. He had a shot in AEW for a while.
Hey, he was on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Scotty Goldman.
So he was on SmackDown. But
his character was Jewish.
Well, Colt
Cabana did play on the Jewish thing a lot in the indies back then too.
Yeah.
He had like the
headband, right?
Well, he also had the the I Love Your shirt. His was I, Star of David, Colt Cabana.
Oh, nice. Do you so did this match do anything to make you look forward to seeing Mox versus Hangman at the pay-per-view?
It was too short. It was too short of a match.
Which is what happens often with the main event on Dynamite.
Yeah. It was bloody, it was brutal. So like I said, I have a lot of like new friends that they've been watching wrestling with me. Yeah. And they're like, is Jon Moxley, does that guy just come out and bleed every week? Is that I was like, not always, but yeah.
Dude, he had stopped for a little while. I guess I don't know if he wanted to stop, and now all of a sudden he's back to bleeding every weekend. It was like after CM Punk was like, I'm afraid to touch you, I'm gonna make you bleed. He stopped bleeding after that for a while.
Yeah.
So, but man, I've lost most of my interest in Hangman for some reason. I just don't care about the guy anymore.
Yeah, they need to. He can be fixed though. Like he can be worked back in for sure.
What would you do to fix him? What did I have to do to fix Hangman Page? Get him away from the Dark Order, number one.
Get him away from the Dark Order for sure. I don't know.
We also got the announcement tonight. We didn't talk about it. Adam Cole will be back wrestling in March.
Yeah.
He's got a lot. I mean, the dude was almost out a year, just 2 months short of a year by the time he comes back in March. Oh, the June was when he went out during the. So it'll be 9 months. He was out.
Part of me wonders if they're gonna make him feud with Hangman again. I hope not.
No, we've already did that.
Yeah,
we already did that. Let's stay away from that. I wish he would have got to feud with Kenny Omega. I wouldn't mind seeing Hangman versus Kenny Omega. There's a lot of guys in AEW I'd love to see Kenny fight. So
we'll probably see that. Isn't that what they were kind of like?
Well, they left it when
indirectly gearing up to that.
When Kenny left, they kind of teased that. So if Kenny sticks around,
Kenny ain't going nowhere.
I don't think so. You don't think he's leaving either?
No.
I didn't think Cody was leaving either. So as much
Where's
as
he gonna go? I mean, I guess he could go to New Japan again.
supposedly WWE really wants him.
Really?
Supposedly, if you believe
He's so old.
Who's old, Kenny?
Yeah,
Dude, they're full of old guys there anymore.
that's
How old is
true.
Kenny Omega?
I guess he's younger than Finn Balor.
I love
Isn't Finn Balor like over 40?
Maybe.
He's 41. Kenny Omega's 39.
Okay. Yeah, I mean Bobby Lashley's in his late 40s, so
Yeah, fair. Jeff Jarrett's 55.
yeah, there you go. I think Kenny Omega's
60.
got a lot. I mean, how old was AJ Styles when he joined WWE?
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, but listen, and I know we're not going to get this, and this is what scares me of Omega going to WWE. Look at the Omega we get in New Japan, okay? Like that Omega's on a different level. Like even the match versus Will Ospreay, the presentation to him was amazing.
Yeah.
He's not that guy in AEW. He's still great. Don't get me wrong. What becomes of him in WWE if they water him down even more?
You know what's funny to think about? If they wanted to, WWE could book a match. If they got Kenny Omega, they could book a match with the 3 original leaders of the Bullet Club. You have Kenny Omega versus AJ Styles versus Finn Balor.
Dude, if they could get Don Callis there, you reunite him with Gallows and Anderson and everything.
Yeah.
Yes, please. I just think he stays in AEW.
I think so too.
No, I don't think he's going.
I don't think he got because he's not going to be a main eventer at WWE.
He shouldn't be, though. But could you imagine they could main event a WrestleMania with Roman Reigns versus Kenny Omega?
I don't want to see that.
You don't want to see that?
No.
Why?
Because it would just be because I don't think Roman Reigns. Oh man, I'm gonna get fried for this. Roman Reigns couldn't lace up Kenny Omega's boots.
Okay, I agree with you there 100%. Like I've said this before, I get yelled at from the people in the Pod Foundation when I say that, and I'm like, they're like, I'm talking overall, and I'm like, well, I'm talking in ring work. Kenny Omega, Roman Reigns can't touch Kenny.
The only way that match looks good is if Roman Reigns like squashes him.
Yeah, but I still think Kenny Omega can make Roman Reigns look better than he's ever looked.
What, take a super punch better than other people? Like, I mean, what's he gonna do? Spear him and punch him?
I mean, think about it. Think of how great Roman's matches were when he fought Daniel Bryan. They were the best Roman Reigns matches I've ever seen.
That's fair. Also, like, I don't know. Yeah, I think Roman Reigns is a worse wrestler than John Cena.
I've said the same thing. I definitely agree with you. I've said that in the Pod Foundation chat. John Cena is better than Roman Reigns in a ring.
Yeah.
So
I remember Cena busting that Hurricane Rana on CM Punk, man.
I was on the Raw. Oh,
yeah,
that was brutal. But
it worked.
And he did many moves. He did many moves in that match he doesn't normally do.
Yeah.
So, man. But
sometimes a good wrestler can bring it out of you.
Yeah. And listen, I think he liked working with Punk. And listen, I give Cena, he tried. He wanted to be better, so
yeah,
he didn't need to be. But the people still loved him. And so I guess Cena's coming back in a couple weeks to talk about Jay Lethal coming to WWE. I don't see where that guy fits in there at all.
Like, you know what sucks?
Wow.
Like, I feel like I see
Lethal. I meant.
I feel like right now I see when I'm watching AEW, I see John Cena on my TV more than I do AEW people because they don't get any Kramer time. And
yeah.
John Cena's in that freaking FICO credit commercial.
I said Jay Lethal. What's the guy's name? I'm getting him confused with. The free agent from New Japan, Jay
White.
Jay White. They're talking about him coming to WWE. I don't see where he fits in there.
No,
he just doesn't seem like he's their cup of coffee at all.
No, he's not big enough.
Yeah,
I agree with Big E. I just want big meaty dudes slapping meat.
Oh, if that's your thing.
But, have you ever seen that video?
No.
Like, 5-star classics, not me. I just want 2 meaty dudes slapping meat.
Well, I guess we could wrap up the wrap-up show. Another decent episode of Dynamite.
It was okay. The wrestling was great.
The wrestling is always great.
Get rid of the battle royale.
Yeah.
And it was the wrestling was great. I mean, that was kind of entertaining, but it is something like that. Battle royales are hard to do on a 2-hour TV show.
Other than the whole MJF story right now, there's not many intriguing stories. I do like the Saraya and Tony Storm thing.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It's kind of like they don't have a name for their group, but it kind of you could see they're pretending to be the NWO.
They're kind of doing this Mystique thing with House of Black for the Elite.
Now I'd love to see more of that. That would instantly make Dynamite better.
Yeah.
So give me a best of 7 with them. Oh,
yeah, I'll take that any day of the week.
Malachi versus Kenny in a singles match, please.
I like the idea of, hear me out on this. I know we're trying to end here.
That's okay.
Freelancers, that's their name now. That's whose name? Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal.
Okay.
I'd like to see Brody King winning the title and still being behind Malachi Black with the belt. It's like kind of like his monster, you know?
Yeah. I'd love that. I have zero issues with that.
Oh,
Saraya and crew.
See, that's the cheesy stuff I don't like about the storyline. Is them trying to do like this, like if they could strip away all of like we're the outsiders kind of thing, and that storyline would still be interesting to me.
Yeah, I agree. So
it just feels hokey to me. Maybe I'm just being.
I like the heel Saraya better. I don't, face Saraya is just kind of like, hey. But all right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you remember, go to theturnbuckletavern.com and follow, like, and subscribe everywhere you possibly can. Do not forget tomorrow morning on your way to work, check out the flagship show with Chad and Sneed. They'll break down this Dynamite even more in depth, and then you'll get to listen to Hawk call in and give his takes on the show. I'm sure he has something dumb to say. He seems to do that every single week. On Friday, Shot of Nostalgia. They're going down the memory lane with the WWF. Was it from 98? I think it was.
Yeah.
98? Yeah, 98. Check out Ace and Mike do that. On Monday, the debate show is back. Wrestling Tonight on Monday. Fig Night on Tuesday. Check it all out, guys. I should be on Fig Night this week. We'll see.
Yeah, if you like what you heard from me here, if you haven't listened to the most recent episode of the debate, I was on that.
Yes, check it out, guys. The debate show drops every Monday. One of the most fun shows at their tavern. Just we pick 3 topics and we debate them. And I miss a debate. But Wednesdays is my day to go to the hospital. And I'm not usually home in time to record it. But I will be getting back there, hopefully very, very soon. This was so much fun, FREEMZ. Thanks for jumping on and discussing AEW with me.
Absolutely.
Until next week, guys. We'll be right here, right back here next Wednesday at 10:30. Until then, love, peace, and pro wrestling.